everyone. Hope I need to love you in the best of health. How are you, my skincare enthusiasts? It's been a while actually. Ah, it's always a pleasure having to sit here and do my skincare routine in front of you guys. All right, a new product alert, as you can see on the topic of the video. Let's just keep going and we'll talk about it. If you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? If you like what you see here, why not go ahead? And meanwhile, I would say a quick thank you to those that attended my webinar. That was on the 28th of September. That was 2 days ago on a Sunday. It was interesting, and let's see if we can do more of those. As in, I knew there were a lot of demands, but it's not easy, right? And it was free. Let's see how it goes. If there's any new development, I'll let you guys know. Because the good thing was that most of those people that came to the webinar were actually from YouTube, and I'm glad. I'm so appreciative of that. Yeah, thank you so much. And let's do this more often. All right, I'm starting with my lip balm. Very important is for you to brush your teeth. My teeth is brushed. I've been loving this Nivea lip balm, yeah, and it has a slight fragrance. Am I going to purchase it again? No, it's almost finished. This is the end of it. I'm not going to purchase it again. Reason is that it has this fragrance that, honestly speaking, I'm not too comfortable with it, to be honest with you. Yeah. If you've been here for a while, you realize that I'm not really a fragrance person. I used to formulate before with essential oils, but after some time, I noticed it was irritating alongside some very sensitive actives. Yes, I noticed that using essential oils with exfoliating products were not so good. Yeah, it was overreacting. So, and in general, I just stopped essential oils in total. So, fragrance, nah. Essential oils, yes, in hair care products, yes, but for skincare, no. And in hair care, it's usually diluted with a lot of Korea oils, so it's no big deal. Or in skincare products, no matter how little, and like I told you, especially in combination with some sensitive actives, it could backfire. All right. 3 years ago or 4 years ago, thereabouts, I developed a product that had azelaic acid in it and niacinamide, and it was an awesome product. It was in a toner. I developed that formula in a toner. I even have the video. You can see, you can check my DIYs. I think it's there. I've not put it into membership. Yeah, it's my current formulations that I'm no longer publishing them. They are now in membership. Pay some token. The creator needs help. Exactly. Okay, so 4 years ago, I developed it in a toner. But the problem is, at that time, toners were not something that people were really investing in. To be honest with you, if a toner is more than 1,005, people will not buy it. And I developed a toner that had azelaic acid and vitamin B3. At that time, people didn't really know much. To be honest with you, 4 years ago, we were still in the dark. A lot of people were still in the dark. I wasn't in the dark anyway, but a lot of people were still in the dark. For real. Okay, so that toner was now priced at 2005, and it was an issue. People were complaining it was too expensive, and to be honest with you, there was little or no sales. I literally used that facial toner all by myself. To be honest with you, there were little or no sales on that toner because people saw it as pricey, not knowing that the formula was the main focus. Then I had no choice than to fade it out because as a cosmetic formulator, whatever moves, I sell. If it doesn't move, I stop. That's the truth. I have more than 50 recipes, but I won't tell you I have more than 50 products. No, I only work with the ones that are actually marketable, then introducing new ones based on demands and all of that. Okay, if you're an oldie here, you would know that I'm not really a cocktail person, right? What do I mean by cocktail? Meaning combining ingredients, combining key ingredients, key actives in one product. Now, the reason why I wasn't a fan of cocktails is the fact that a lot of people were really, really new to skincare. And so cocktails could have a lot of disadvantage over advantages at that time. Because your skin is new to these things. It doesn't know how it's going to react patch tests might be done. And the thing is that most patch tests are not done on the face. They're actually done on the hand or somewhere not on the face. And to be honest with you, the skin on the face and the skin on the body is slightly different, right? So the patch test on your any other part of your body, maybe the neck is even much more closer to the face for a patch test, if you ask me. Yeah. So that was the reason why I was against cocktails somehow. Yeah. And then the absorption of key actives, especially when you actually have a problem on your skin. Example, you have a flare up of acne rosacea. Cocktails are not something that I really want to give to you, if you know why. Because the skin is very sensitive at that time. The skin barrier is not at its comfortable state. So I would agree with single actives over cocktails. But as we speak now in the current day, a lot of people have sort of been exposed to skincare, and to some extent, some people can actually take cocktails. I'm talking too much. I'm so very sorry for that. Now, this is a hydrating essence. I've always had a hydrating essence in my formula, but there is a new hydrating essence that contains licorice, azelaic acid, niacinamide, all in one formula, and a little bit of sodium ascorbyl phosphate, a derivative of vitamin C, all in one product. Yes. Yes. So that is it. So I'm doing this. I've been using this for a while, and I've been loving it. Yeah. But the thing about buying a product like this, yeah, I would still ask you to go along with another milder hydrating essence. What am I trying to say? If you're to purchase this, I'll still advise you to purchase the hydrating essence, or the hydrating essence that is not cocktailed. I don't know if what I'm saying here is making any sense. There's a cocktailed hydrating essence, and there's a non-cocktailed hydrating essence. Look at this is it basically. There's a hydrating essence that is just pretty much straightforward with just licorice extract in it for hyperpigmentation, for fading out hyperpigmentation and hydrating the skin. But this is going to do a lot extra. In a hydrating essence, you have azelaic acid, you have niacinamide, you have licorice extract, and then you have vitamin C in it. Does it make any sense at all? It does, I believe, for the OGs, the ones that are familiar with, And honestly speaking, I have tried my best to convince a lot of people about more of using single products, but I've met one or two that we keep complaining that they don't like plenty steps, they don't have that patience. And to be honest with you, if life had not happened to me, I would have still been in denial of, no, you can do it. When life happened to me, I had to go back to my drawing board. And I remembered I had a cocktail formula in the past that wasn't doing well, and I discarded it, and it was time to bring it back. But this time around in a hydrating essence. Yes, because it's going to be much more sustainable, and it's going to be easier to slot into your skincare routine. Yeah, with much more hold and benefits. Now, this is a niacinamide at 10%. I'm an OG, guys. I'm an OG. Yeah, so I can roll with 10% niacinamide, but basically, I have more of 5% niacinamide on my shelf over 10%. 10%, just like I told you, you have to get to a certain level. Meanwhile, there's something again I still want to add. Okay, I trademarked my business, right? I used to have just a business name, so I have trademarked. We've been trademarked. We have been trademarked. It's supposed to be a good news, isn't it? All right, we've been trademarked, and unfortunately, the trademark is totally different from the business name. My business name is actually A to Z signature from my initials, from the initials of my name, Asma Zakari. So it's A to Z, A-Z signature. But after being trademarked, I could not retain the A to Z signature because they said trademark is supposed to not have a meaning, blah, 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 blah. But last, to cut the long story short, I now have a new name, gel half. I'll write it somewhere here. So for now, I am flying gel half by A to Z signature. Yes, because of course it's almost like I'm starting all over. Ah! Ha! A new logo, a new name. Like, so I'm sorry, some of you guys will receive products that might not have stickers. Because when this fades off, when this finishes, I mean, I would have to embrace my new identity. Because the trademark supersedes the business name. The irony of the whole thing is that actually trademark was generated from the business name, but then it is what it is. It wasn't accepted in their trademark database, and I have no choice than to embrace it. So for now, I wouldn't be able to tell you how long, but to be honest with you, for now, some of your products will come with hand. I won't just send them to you plain anyway, but they'll be handwritten, labeled. I'm sorry about that. Please, I'm sorry. That might look so unprofessional. I'm not even it will, but I'm so sorry about that. The fact is that I am the main source, so it's not like you're going to anywhere to purchase it to get a fake or anything. It's still me. Okay, so I have a fan here in front of me that is facilitating dryness. So after using my hydrating essence that contains niacinamide, 2% niacinamide actually, 5% azelaic acid, then 2% sodium ascorbyl phosphate, and then 2% licorice extract. So I have it. Okay, and then I still topped up with my niacinamide at 10%. That's like 12%, but it doesn't get to me. The fact that and I use my niacinamide just once a day at night, honestly. But I use this cocktail twice a day for now. For now, you know, I'm trying to say to you. That's why I said if you're purchasing, I will advise you to create a budget for this and the other one, so that when this starts getting a little bit overwhelming on your skin, yes, then you just step back a little bit. You know, the thing about skincare is that it's a give and take. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? You take this, give this, take this, like meaning you alternate. Yes, that's the truth. Even their seasons, there are some products when the weather gets so sunny, I would not use them. Yeah, like I'll not use them so often. Like when the rains are over and it becomes hot, like sun begins to shine hard and the rains, I wouldn't use this twice a day. I'll use it just once. I might not even necessarily, yeah, I'll use it just once. I might not even necessarily use it every day. It just depends. But the thing about cocktails is that it needs to be controlled. That's the thing about cocktail. That is why some people try to give cocktail products a downside, but it's not totally a downside. You just need to know when to put it in and when to pull it out. That's the truth. So you have to have other variety to substitute when cocktails are not in use. Hence the reason why I still end up preaching single products, so that you can be able to handpick, because in cocktails you don't have a choice, but it's still an awesome product. I don't know if I'm trying to say to you, where you have one product that is sometimes a hero, but most times actually a hero, and then some few times it could want to mimic a villain like characteristics, but that's by the way. If you know, you know, and hence the reason why I recommend cocktails for OGs, for people that are already on the block, not novice. If you're new, nah, I ain't giving you a cocktail at all. All right, this is my retinol at 0.5%. Yes, I've not gotten to that point where I'm using retinol every day, honestly. And I'm usually most careful with using retinol alongside azelaic acid, to be honest with you, because I notice that combination dries out my skin. And that makes me very uncomfortable, to be honest with you. I use it, it's not like I don't use it, especially that time of the month when I have flare up. So I have no choice than to use it and then moisturize properly. Sure, you understand, but otherwise, is it a regular combination? No. No, at all, no. So to some extent, I use retinol to, like, I'm still on 3 to 4 times in a week. And the reason is because of the days where I use lactic acid or salicylic acid, so I do not use retinol, and I'm on retinol. Yeah, I am strictly on retinol. I have used retinaldehyde before, but to be honest with you, there's something, maybe I don't know if I'll put it in a specific video for a proper breakdown. That has to do with retinaldehyde and retinol. They'll tell you it works 11 times better. So for me, it's just an exaggerated phrase. For me, if you ask me, that is just an exaggerated phrase. It's just like I also say it's an exaggerated phrase as well when people are saying that they're using SPF 100 or they're using SPF 70. See, from SPF 30 and above, the difference is very, very little, negligible. That's the truth. When you meet professional skincare experts or dermatologists, they will tell you that's the thing. They will literally tell you the truth. So some of these things are just being they are just being, I don't know, it looks like it's a panic statement. Me, I don't understand. I don't understand. So there's no difference like that. There's no 11 times the difference between retinaldehyde and retinol. If you tell me there's a huge difference between tretinoin, which happens to be prescriptional strength, over retinol, I will agree with you 100%. I won't argue with you. But when you're talking of retinaldehyde and retinol, to be honest with you, if you use your retinol consistently, you're fine. You're totally fine. So basically, I'll say this: I have come to the end of my skincare routine. So after like 20 minutes now, I'll use my moisturizer, or maybe not. It just depends on my mood later on. Yeah, I'll now use a little bit of my facial cream. But basically, I'm done. And you know the thing about cocktails, it makes your skincare routine easier, and of course, it shrinks the steps. Imagine I'm to use a product that has Azelaic acid separately, that has Licorice separately, that has please, if you watch to this point, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I love you all.